How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the Epicenter. We are back here once again. I wanted to go ahead and thank my last guest of the show, Jack Stolt, for being on. He was the swim coach on the last show. I learned a lot about swim and definitely look forward to hopefully covering that as well as a reporter. And yeah, it was really nice to have him on last week's show. I wanted to let you guys know a couple of the plans we have going forward for the podcast. So next week, I plan on having on Alex Winters, who is a filmographer around the area who does a lot of his own films. He's actually going to be going to school at CSU Northridge here shortly and going to be studying for that. So I'm talking to him about a lot of that. He also reviews a lot of films on his YouTube channel. And so, yeah, I'll be talking about all of that on next week's show. I also, in the next few weeks, want to try to plan on having Coach Bean or Coach Berg on, who are the Lincoln football coaches around the area, kind of talking to them as they're going to be going to new programs and kind of learning, kind of going to be preparing for that. So I want to be having those coming on the next few weeks. So those are some shows to expect going forward. But without further ado, I want to go ahead and introduce the current guest for this week's show. It is the band Nerv. They are an alternative rock and pop band around the Sacramento area. Of course, a couple of them, as I will get to, live a little bit away from the current area right now. But I've got on Tyler, Scott, Dylan, and Jordan. How are you guys doing?
Doing good. How are you doing?
Good. What is up, Aaron? How are you?
I'm doing great, yeah, and this is, like I said, the first, as we were getting into before the show started, this is actually the first podcast I've had with multiple guests on, and I'm really glad I was able to work out. I actually work with Scott in my job at Topgolf, and so that's how I first learned about the band, obviously, and then, listened to him a little bit, and then I started talking with Scott, and he told me about everyone else, and so that's how I was able to kind of contact all of you guys and get you guys in here. But yeah, I really appreciate you guys being on. This should be really cool. And without further ado, I kind of just want to get into it and kind of start by asking you guys. I know your guys' first EP, Bad Habits, which has had tremendous success, came out in 2016. But roughly, how long have you guys been making music for, and what was the story behind how you guys all met and got everything started?
Who wants it?
Jordan, you take it.
Yeah,
Jordan. Since
Jordan's been
we started
around
together.
Yeah, me and Scott, we met like a long time ago when I was like 16 or 17, like however many years ago that is, 8. Yeah, we started like this little band thing called Daydreamer, and we were just writing songs like every day, just a ton of songs and stuff. And then, that kind of ended. Then some dude hits me up on the internet. It's like, hey, you want to join a band? It's like, yeah. And we went out to the studio, and that's when we started recording our stuff. Then we recruited Scott after we recorded like the first couple of songs, join the band, and then just went from there.
The rest is history.
Yeah.
So
definitely.
So basically, it's cool. We were all formed from like mutual friends, and like obviously not Jordan and Scott, but like the rest of us, we were kind of introduced, and then we all just kind of fell for each other. Like me and Tyler were buds like instantly, and me and Jordan.
It was a super
all
instant
of us,
connection.
It was just
everybody.
like we were just like, holy crap, yeah. And then we had the music recorded, like Jordan said, we did a few songs, and then we got Scott because Jordan's like, look, we got to get this guy. I've done music with him, He's great, and we just said, all right, done deal. And then we finished up everything with that EP, and the rest is history.
It was crazy too because we kind of somewhat knew of each other outside. Even obviously, Jordan and I have been best buds for almost 10 years now.
Yeah.
But we had known Tyler through his YouTube channel where he did drum covers from years before Nerv was ever even thought of as a thing. We knew Dylan because he was the singer of Incredible Me. So it was kind of crazy.
Definitely weird.
Kind of crazy how everything.
Yeah, once we got into
came
contact,
together.
we're like, oh, you're so and so. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Like for mine and Scott's old band, like we were like, hey, this drummer on YouTube, he covered Thrown by Bring Me the Horizon, and it's really good. Let's ask him to join our band.
Yeah.
Oh no, he's already in a band. Yeah, and now here he is.
We were in this group chat for so long. We were like, do we want to go out to LA and record this? So we need to meet each other officially. Is this going to work when we meet each other? We had the songs prepared. We're like, let's lay them down. And then we all met each other, and it clicked instantly. And then we laid down those EP songs, and then rest is history after that, pretty much.
We've been writing and recording ever since.
Yeah.
Yeah, as soon as it was cool once Scott was like around, we just were able to pump out because having two people with two people writing at the same time, it just made it awesome.
Yeah.
So where were
like
you guys?
Guitars, that is.
where were you guys all living at the time that you guys had all like kind of come in contact with each other and actually met each other before you guys actually really got things officially going?
So Dylan was in Sac area for his entire life. Tyler was in Georgia.
Yeah.
And Jordan and I were in the Dallas area in Texas. So spread pretty far apart for the first several years of Nerv.
And then we did some nice driving. They did. I drove to LA.
Lots of
I drove to
36-hour drives.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they drove from Texas to Sac, so that was a little bit crazier.
It was fun.
So
Multiple times.
when you guys all officially like met each other for the first time in person, was that in LA or was it around the Sacramento area? Where was it you guys all like initially like got to meet in person?
So
For all
LA
of us,
and
it was
Sac.
in the Sacramento area.
Yeah.
Well, I guess technically in San Francisco, because that was where Dylan picked us
Yeah,
up
that
from
was
the
where I
airport.
picked you guys up.
But-
yeah.
But it was for a Sac.
It was a
thing,
combo.
Gotcha. And then Tyler and Scott, what obviously the band obviously had a big part to do with it, but what was like the main factor that kind of motivated you guys to just actually come to the Sac area and live here? Was it just easier for you guys when it came to the music sense, or what other factors were in play for you guys in that?
For me personally, there was just, we had taken so many trips here and there was lots of cool things going on here. I think once we noticed that the song started, I think it was when it hit 1 million, when Bad Habits hit 1 million, I was like, okay, now what? Do we really need to start doing this? Do we need to think? So we started like pondering, like, what if we moved out there? And then I met my girlfriend out here. We dated long distance for a really long time. So I had basically had a plan to come out here regardless for that as well. And then Scott was like, let's do the same thing. Let's do it. If we're going to do this, let's full send it. Because it was hard to produce as much music as we wanted at a certain point because we were separated for so long and we were so far away. So we just wanted to make it happen. We saw it was taking off and we didn't want to lose momentum. We wanted to keep pushing. So we kind of dropped everything and moved out here.
For me too, obviously living in California is very expensive, but we would take month-long trips several times a year, and being here, not working, not having a job while we're here, obviously having to pay to live, we'd go through lots of money very quickly. So it just made a lot more sense to get together and be here, to be able to write together, practice together, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, look, we got Dylan's cat on camera. One question I wanted to ask you guys is, how did you all decide on the name Nerv, and kind of where does that stem from?
So
Dylan, I'll let you take that one.
We were just discussing names, and like there was a list of them we had.
So many different.
Yeah.
Nerv was one of them. And I loved the fact that it was like, you feel with your nerves. Music's about feeling and emotion. And then we took the E off.
Yeah, it was around the time that that movie Nerv was coming out, and we didn't want to just confuse people with that either. And then we took the E off, and after a while, we were like, I kind of like that. It's kind of sick.
Yeah, and then we also, the 4-piece part, and we also learned that like copyright wouldn't even be a problem because Nerv means nerve, and like, what was it, like 4 or 5 different languages? NERVs means nerve,
something like that.
Yeah, can't get us on that one.
There's some like vapes in the Philippines that are called Nerv.
Yeah, we got that.
Who does most of the writing in your guys' band? Is it more of a collaborative thing, or does somebody come out with the lyrics and then another with the music? Is it more shared all around? Explain to me kind of how that process kind of works for you guys.
It's definitely a collaborative thing.
Yeah, I think most everybody does their own thing, kind of thing.
Jordan and I will come up with like instrumental ideas, either they're full song ideas or just bits and pieces. Tyler will make his flair with the drums, change different things here and there. Dylan listen to hundreds of demos that Jordan and I write until he finds a couple pieces where he goes, okay, that's something that like bam, there's a hook right away. And then as soon as Dill sings it, we go, yep, there it is.
It's usually how that goes.
Yeah, it's just people writing their own parts is pretty much like we've always kind of like, that's just kind of how we approach it.
Right.
Yeah, 100%.
Gotcha. Speaking of Bad Habits, the song is your guys' top hit with near 5 million listens on Spotify and over 6 million views on YouTube on the main video. And then obviously your guys' acoustic version of the song is also taken off as well. What's the story behind the song, and what do you think specifically made it so successful?
I think Dill definitely should take this. I think
the simplicity of it, it's catchy. It does all the right things. It's structured like a pop song. It plays like a pop song. It has like guitars, that make it more rocky. And I think people, they come to simplicity regardless. If you want to make something complex, it's harder for the average person to like latch onto it. But when something's nice and simple, and you have a chorus like I don't want to stop. The lyrics right away. You're in it. And then as far as the story goes, it's just like past relationships and everything like that. Just my rendition of that. Yeah.
And I remember you working when we were in the studio. You were up like every night, like super late at night, working on lyrics. And I remember you revising revising Bad Habits much. And I remember when you finally sang what you thought was what you wanted the finishing product to be. We were all like, "That's it. I was lucky enough to have a friend there to bounce ideas off of. That just helped tremendously.
I wanted to switch gears for a moment and kind of talk about music videos for you guys. So music video for Bad Habits, along with many other of your guys' songs, are on BVTV Music, which looks like it's based out of Sacramento and has covered a Warped Tour and features other small artists. Now, I actually didn't know this until last night when I was actually doing some more research, but it looks like your guys' general manager, Alex, actually founded the channel. But so I was going to ask you guys, how initially did you guys come in contact with Alex? And then how initially were you able to start getting content on that channel?
Dill, take that one.
Yeah, I was going to say you want me to. So, Alex, or AK as we call him, he's been my friend for a long time now. He was involved with my last band, and he's actually been involved with this band since the very start. He went with me to LA to record the first songs as like just a friend, kind of like, hey, don't go by yourself. If you don't want to, I don't mind taking the hit because he wasn't working. He does YouTube for a living, so it helps out. And so we were able to, he was involved with it, so he was super into it. And he was just like, and it kind of just gradually said, he started managing us like slowly but surely. And he's helped us every step of the way. And yeah, his channel was a super cool Kickstarter to have in like our repertoire of things. We all were just like, oh yeah, instant 160,000 subscribers or whatever he has that we could just put our music out to, that we worked, they traveled, we all spent tons of money on. I mean, it was just super awesome. AK is just a blessing.
He's great. Even without like the channel having lots of subscribers, obviously that helps. We wouldn't be where we are today without him, just based on how organized he keeps us. Like where we need to be, what we're doing, everything is set up so perfectly that without him, at this point, we would be like spoiled children without parents for the first time. Like
he's our dad for sure. We love Alex so much.
Us four together we're a cyclone for sure. We're all our own.
Everyone feeds off it at this point. We call him dad. He treats us like we're children in a great way. Like it's just the most wonderful like little relationship.
No spankings yet.
Oh, I was about to say he spanked us, and you just.
No, he doesn't. Don't throw him under the bus.
So explain me kind of the process behind how you guys kind of like make your music videos. Where do you guys kind of like have to travel to? Just explain kind of how that process works.
You want to take that?
Yeah. So we actually film most of our music videos at a studio place in San Jose. San Jose. Yeah, it's called Red Wall Studios, and basically they can change whatever setup you want, whatever backdrops, any sort of lights, and it's just a perfect place to shoot. We shot, Bad Habits and Enough in the same building. Fun fact. But that was not at Red Wall Studios. Yeah. That was at another studio place, which I can't remember the name of.
It was still in San Jose, but I can't remember.
It was in Oakland. Wasn't it in Oakland?
Was it technically Oakland?
Yeah. Oakland. Yeah. They're all so close.
Yeah. I can't remember the name of it, but we did shoot those two in one day in the same room.
And the acoustics as well.
And the acoustics.
That was a long day.
So that was our first time ever shooting videos together. We didn't know.
Like 7 a.m. to like 10
to 3 in the morning, 7 a.m. to 3 in the morning.
Yeah, okay.
We didn't get back till like 3. Yeah, it was we were tired. We kind of got a feel for each other on how like it is, because none of us had Dylan has, but the rest of us had never been in any sort of like music video like that. So that was kind of a fun experience. And then once we started making more music videos, we went to Redwall Studios and we shot every one of our music videos there since then. And we basically just, we played the song about 25 to 50 times.
Yeah. Different angles,
solo shots,
group shots.
Unfortunately, I have to be in the back of every single shot, so I have to play every single
that
playthrough.
Has to work the hardest.
Yeah, but that's it's a fun process. I mean, it is definitely tiring, but it's just worth it in the
Jordan
end.
and I's necks don't work for like a week afterward because
we can't move the day
go
after.
hard every
we have to go 100% every single time. Yep. It's funny, like we still learn something new every single time we record a music video, but it has become a little bit like second nature.
Yeah.
We just kind of we get there, we know a general idea of what we want to do. We start running through it, and then bam, Tyler come up with an idea. I'll come up with an idea. Dill, Jordan, like, hey, let's try this, and then bam, looks great. Different idea for different videos. Bouncing ideas off each other. The guy who directs our videos, Andy Chen, he's wonderful.
He's amazing.
He is so good at taking just a simple like statement and showing it to you through
like
the camera lens.
Like Scott talking about like the treatments.
The what?
The treatments that we get.
Oh yeah, the treatments. So we'll get on a call. He'll listen to the song a couple times, get the lyrics, and we'll say, Dill will be like, this is kind of what I was saying when I was writing this. Jordan and I and Tyler will be like, this is how our vibes from it. This is kind of our idea of what it means to us. And he'll come up with an entire storyline, get a full treatment together of like scenes. He'll like draw stuff, write things here and there, and take pictures from movies and other things that resemble kind of what we're looking for.
It's kind of crazy.
Put almost like a
colors,
like if you're gonna sell a movie to an executive, like that's basically what it is. And he will say, this looks good. We don't really like that part. And then by the time we get to recording, we know exactly what we're going to do, what the video generally is going to look like. And we've never been disappointed. So
yeah,
it's a really fun experience.
Absolutely.
It sounds like quite a process. How many people would you say, like production wise, you guys kind of get the opportunity to work down there?
It's been
so many.
growing.
Yeah. Sometimes there'll be 3 people there in the beginning, and then there's 10 more. With different props and different, lighting stuff, and it's
like every time we do a video, it's like each video Andy's team gets bigger, his crew gets bigger.
There's just
when we started there was like 2 people.
Yeah.
Andy and his friend like that would hold something for him, and then now it's like Andy, a guy that
busload of people.
He has guys there just to set up props, and then guys here checking the colors.
Exactly.
And how long are you guys down there for? Would you say, like on average, when you guys are recording a video, does it take like a couple days, or are you guys able to get it done? Does it take like a week? Like how long would you think it takes usually to like get something done down there for a project?
We knock it out in a day. There's been situations before where we were absolutely dead by the end of the day, and some of the clips we just don't really look like we're into it, so we might have to reschedule like a day to reshoot some stuff, but for the most part we knock it out in a day.
And that's mainly because Jordan travels out here, and we kind of we all treat Jordan's time very beautifully when he's here and try to fit as much as we can.
And Andy's not from this area, so he has to make a good travel from LA up to the Bay Area just to shoot our stuff.
What did we do last time? 3 or 4 videos?
So we did 3 videos last time.
In one day.
Yeah.
Was Andy the one that kind of came up with the idea to go to Redwall, or is that something that you guys came up with the idea on? Do you know? Has he worked with other people there? What are some other acts that you guys know of that may have worked out of that studio as well?
Ooh, out of Redwall. Well, we actually went there before we ever film stuff there to record some stuff, some of our acoustic songs, and some demos for some songs that we haven't released when we're getting prepared for live shows. And it was Redwall Studios, and then they turned it into a perfect music video area with different, I don't even know, it was like scenes. Like there's a place that had like a detective area. There's a bedroom. There's a nice like hallway. Then there's little like a mirror room and stuff like that, like a tunnel room and different things like that. And Andy's worked with the guy who owns that so many times. He gets good deals on renting it out. He's always willing to let us show up early and leave late, things like that. Just makes it super, super helpful. As far as other artists that have gone there, I know there's tons, but I can't think of any off the top of my head.
Yeah.
I think they have a pretty good Instagram that tells you, a lot of people. A lot of people go through that, and they have another place.
There's a lot of big rap artists I know that have used it.
Lots of rap artists will go there
Yeah.
and shoot videos.
I was just because when I was visiting their website, the reason I asked it just now is I looked at their website and the first thing that came up was Jabberwocky. So I was like, oh wow, that's a huge act. So I was like,
Yeah,
I didn't know
they were
if they
there.
one, but I mean,
Yep.
I was like, dang, that's a huge act coming out of there.
Yep.
When it comes to the Alex's or your guys' producer's YouTube channel for BBTV, as I was mentioning, it features a lot of other local artists around the area. Are there any other local artists that you guys have actually had the chance to work with around the greater Sacramento area?
Like work with or play with? Like what? Is it just a loose term?
Yeah, kind of like play with, be like in concerts with, shows with, and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Jordan, you want to? Any other bands that you like playing with that were local?
I mean, technically, DGD, are they local?
Yeah, they're
Dance
local.
Gavin Dance.
We did that.
Cemetery Sun.
Cemetery Sun, Demon and
Our
Me.
People.
Yeah, Demon and Me is rad. Our
Demon and
People,
Me.
Foreign
And
Affair.
so long.
Did we play with Jay's band at Holy Diver?
I think we did play with Something Heartfelt.
Something Heartfelt.
At the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've just everybody we played
We're
with. has been super
pretty
cool.
close with a lot of the different artists from this area that are in bands. What's Ben's band?
The Never and Now.
The Never and
Yeah.
Now. Yeah.
They're
Yeah,
sick.
never know.
And kind of going along with that question, you guys have had the opportunity to play at a lot of local venues such as the Holy Diver, Ace of Spades, Powerhouse Pub, and others. Do you have a favorite venue that you've played at and a favorite show by any chance?
My favorite is Holy Diver. I just love that place.
It gets crazy. It's not the biggest venue, but it's definitely not like teeny or anything. And
They
it's
passed
just
out.
it gets packed. Everyone goes nuts. It's a really, really fun venue.
The
My
vibes are right.
favorite. My favorite was when we did concerts in the park, because when you look out at a sea of 10,000 people singing Dylan's lyrics right back in his face, it's a really cool feeling.
That was our second
That
show.
was our second show ever, and it was
my
like
second show I'd ever played, and I almost passed out. I was like,
That was a good show. I cried
Yeah.
on stage. That was a fun one.
Yeah.
Probably
And-
my favorite show too.
Ace of Spades also was fun too.
Yeah, the Ace of Spades show was surreal because I've always wanted to play a show at Ace of Spades, and actually being on that stage was,
And it being packed.
it was awesome. That was
And
awesome.
don't quote me on this, but it looked like that one of the shows at Holy Diver you guys actually got to play with, and I bet you were really excited about this, Tyler, was Dance Gavin Dance. It looked like you guys actually got to play with them, which is really cool.
That was actually, the Concerts in the Park show. We actually
Oh, it's
opened
Concerts in the
for Dance
Park.
Gavin
Okay,
Dance.
gotcha.
And that was, the crowd was even bigger when they played, obviously, but being able to just share a stage with them that night was incredible. I loved that. Absolutely.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
Are there any other venues around this area or anywhere else that you guys had the opportunity to play at as well that are good local venues other than the ones in Sacramento that I may have mentioned in Concerts in the Park?
Jordan, do you remember any of the venues from that acoustic tour?
I don't remember
Like
what they're
Berkeley and
called.
stuff?
Yeah, the
I remember
place
the
in
where the
Berkeley was
cities
really
were.
cool. Yeah,
Yeah, that
place
one
in Berkeley was really
awesome.
cool. It was like it's like a
Can't
brand
remember
new
the name.
venue. Or it seemed new. Yeah, I can't remember what
Yeah,
it
it
was
was
called.
super
but
nice.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's also just because me and Scott are still new here to California, so anytime we hear of like a new venue, we're like, we want to play there. I want to check it out, definitely. So any opportunity to play any venue around here, we would love to, check it out.
Is Boardwalk open?
Boardwalk is closed, unfortunately, but Boardwalk, I actually played. I played there in a tour when I was 18, coming through here, and that venue was awesome. But unfortunately, it closed down recently due to the pandemic and stuff like that. But
Cornerstone is what that venue
Cornerstone.
is called.
Yeah, the Boardwalk is actually a venue. I've never gotten a chance to actually watch a show there, but I would love to go watch a show there sometime because it just seems super unique and super cool to actually be able to watch a show out there, right out there on the beach. And you really don't get that opportunity a lot of other places. But I've been to Ace of Spades, and I think that that's an awesome venue. I've actually not had a chance to go to Holy Diver, but it's definitely a place that I would like to go see a show at for sure. But yeah, that's awesome. You guys have been able to play there, and hopefully you get to play at some other really cool places too. Before I get into some other questions for you guys, I wanted to go ahead and get into my first segment on the show, which is half and half, where I basically cover one really good feel-good news story of the week and another like quirky and weird news story that I happen to find. So I thought I would go ahead and share these for you guys this week. This is the good news story, and I love this one as a sports fan. And if you're a sports fan, even if you hate the Yankees, This is something that I think is just great. At age 70, Yankees fan gets to live out her dream of being a Batgirl. 6 decades after the team said no, Gwen McLaughlin served as the Batgirl for her beloved New York Yankees. Let me pull it up here. Sorry, I'm getting a little bit of lag on my computer. There we go. It was a field of dreams come true. On Monday, Gwen McLaughlin served as the Batgirl for the New York Yankees when they hosted the Angels, 60 years after she was rejected when she wrote a letter to the team as a 10-year-old asking if she could serve the role. It's been an amazing opportunity, a day of a lifetime, she said after the game. I can't put it into words. And you can see a photo, for anybody who is watching this on YouTube, you can see a photo of her here, very happy and smiling after it. If you're not able to see this and you're listening on Spotify, just take a look at this article if you can. It's in today. It's really cool piece. It was in 1961 when she received a response from Roy Hamey, who was the general manager of the team, believing that she couldn't do it because at that time there was a whole gender thing with not being as capable of boys to be able to do the job. And the fact that now she's able to do it, being a lifetime fan, I never really had the dream of being a bat boy for like the A's or anything like that, but just, knowing people who are really huge sports fans and getting the chance to do that after, being a lifetime fan, that's got to be something really cool. She got to throw out the first pitch as well, and really, really something cool. So I thought I would share that with you guys. With that being said, I want to go ahead and pull up the weird news story of the week, which honestly, it's not even weird. It's kind of quirky. And if you're a Disney fan, and you've watched the, I believe it's a Disney movie, I could be wrong. If you've watched the movie Up, you'll know the cone of shame with the dog. Well, this is the same thing here with a bear. Look at this thing right here. It is in Boulder, Colorado, and it's basically got the cone of shame around its head. The cops in Boulder, Colorado are looking for this bear who has a plastic bucket on his head. And they don't know exactly how it got there, but the Colorado Parks and Wildlife said that the bear has been spotted at least twice with a plastic bucket on its head. It doesn't appear to be causing any pain or affecting mobility, but the animal does appear to be able to eat or drink. I just found it really funny because the first thing I thought of when I saw this was Up, the cone of shame on the dog. And I was like, I feel bad for the bear, but at the same time, it's stuff like that you almost just got to laugh at because it's super funny. So I just wanted to share those because there's a couple of the weird and funny and good news stories I found for you guys this week. But we'll go ahead and get back into the show here, and I have a few more questions for you guys. So people don't just listen to you guys locally or nationally, but you guys actually have listens from over 90 different countries. How does it feel to know that there are people from all around the world actually listening to your guys' music?
It's crazy.
It feels fake.
Yeah, it doesn't feel real.
I don't believe it.
It's definitely surreal to even read stats like that. I read it and I think, oh, cool, because it just doesn't feel real. Like, is that real?
Yeah.
Does that?
The craziest part is like you'll see comments on like YouTube, people clearly from different countries, and it like the nice things you can imagine, and people like really, really relating to the songs from complete other side of the planet. It's wild.
It's
weird.
an insane feeling. It feels really, really, really good.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I think one of the times it set in for me was when we found a cover of a band from like I think it was Thailand or it was one of those smaller countries over there, and they covered a full band version of our song and like did a
music video for it too. Like it was
made a
really
video
good.
and it was super cool. And you just and all the comments are in their language, and I'm just like, this is so unreal. Like that's it. Kind of clicked. I'm like, holy crap,
idea that
huge.
Somebody could go through that much effort to do a cover of a song that we wrote is just
we're just these four dudes, just chilling and
it's so like
it's crazy.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Any of your guys' shows that you guys have played at, have you guys met any fans from outside the country or like from the other side of the country? Where would you say like any fans that you guys have actually like met in person? What do you say is like the furthest that you know of that they may have came from to listen to your guys' music?
That one person that came to the Powerhouse show also was at our Nevada acoustic show, remember?
Yeah, that was
she drove all the way.
She actually drove
the Powerhouse show.
She drove from Nevada or wherever she was at the time. I don't remember exactly where she drove from, but she drove all the way
there. It was very long. It was like over a day.
Yeah, something.
Like a whole day long trip.
But came here to see us play at the Powerhouse. So that was pretty awesome. I think that's that we know of. I know that, and then a couple people drove, a couple hours, but we haven't met anyone that has traveled across the country yet. That would be crazy.
That'd be amazing.
That would be actually crazy.
That's awesome. I was gonna say you guys should try to schedule a show in like Bangkok or something in Thailand. See if those guys come out.
Honestly,
that was sweet.
I want to go to Bangkok.
I want to go everywhere.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and ask each of you guys this question. So I'll go ahead and start with Dylan, and then we'll kind of move around. How long have you been singing for? I'll kind of change that as we go along to obviously each instrument. But Dylan, how long have you been singing for? How long have you kind of been playing music for? Have there been any other instruments that you have played in your life? Explain to me kind of when you started getting into music and what instruments you kind of fell in love with, and then when initially did you realize singing was kind of going to be your passion?
So I've been singing since forever. There's videos of me singing at like 3 years old, Beach Boys, full on dancing. But serious, like actually like trying out for bands and getting turned down because I suck. I think like 15, I was like trolling on like forums and like Craigslist and stuff. And I was trying to find like a pop punk band or, you know, anything like that would take me. And I would go to these these practice spaces and I'd try out. And I would get turned down. I'd get turned down, but I'm just hard headed. So I just kept practicing and kept practicing. And so, yeah, my whole life, but seriously for probably about almost 15 years now, I've been singing. And as far as other instruments, I've never really like got fully into something, like learned, you know, a billion things, but I've learned songs on guitar, you know, simple chords and things like that. I've learned songs on ukulele. I've learned songs on piano and things like that, but nothing like any of them. They're way more talented musically than me. But yeah, so 15 years, and I really wanted it when I was like 18 or 19. I really wanted to be in a band. I would go to Warped Tour, and I just loved the environment, loved everything. And yeah, that's when I knew I was like, I want to do this. I want to do this for a living. I want to do it every day. Yeah.
It's funny you mentioned that at the age 3 you started with like the Beach Boys and stuff singing that, because I'm not a singer or anything like that, of course, but I remember and my parents still have videos on their old recordings of me like singing Beatles songs, and I was like 3 or 4 years old and stuff, so it's really funny.
Yeah, I was obsessed with the harmonies. The Beach Boys always did like 3 parts and stuff, and I loved it. And when I was younger, I just liked the harmonies. So.
That's awesome. Jordan, same question for you, but obviously instead of the singing aspect, when it comes to drumming, and then any other instruments you've played in your life.
Yeah. So I guess I started playing guitar when I was probably 9, I guess, because I was like raised around music and stuff. So my dad, he used to do country music back in the 80s and 90s and stuff. So yeah, I guess I picked up a guitar for the first time. He's pretty cool. I picked up a guitar for the first time. I was like 9 years old and was just learning, you know, the basic chords like C chord, G chord, D chord, all that stuff. And I don't know, but I remember the moment that I was like, that's what I want to do. I want to do music. It's I had it on MTV and they're doing like the top 10 songs of the 90s. And I was just walking by, not really paying attention. And then I heard that intro riff to Smells Like Teen Spirit. And I was like, what the fuck is that? and then I just went and grabbed a guitar. I was like, I'm going to learn this right now. I was like, dude, that's what I want to do. I want to play guitar. And then, yeah, ever since then, it's just been trying to write music and stuff. Had a little studio in here when I was 13, recording some little songs that sucked. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I've been going since then, yeah.
And for the record, I apologize. I meant to say guitar. My apologies there.
Yeah, you're
good. Going to Scott, since you're the other guitarist in the group, same question for you with Jordan. When did you start playing guitar? Is there any other instruments you played in your life? Kind of how did you get your start and stuff?
So kind of similar to Jordan, I remember hearing a specific song being played. And the way I heard it, I was at a friend's house. He had a guitar. He played the most simple electric guitar song that there is, which is Brain Stew by Green Day. And my mind was blown. I was like, I know that. You just did it. You are them in my brain. I was like, I have to get a guitar and I have to learn how to play this song. That's the first song I learned how to play. Also, something Jordan left out is not only does he's an incredible drummer and singer. He was he'd make his own demos with drums, guitar, and vocals. That's how, when we first met, that's the first things I heard from him.
I forgot to say my first like instrument that I really wanted to play was drums. With the drum set and everything.
He's a great drummer, great singer.
My boy.
Yeah.
My boy.
Yeah. And so yeah, ever since then, just became I was obsessed with it for a very long time. I never super took music not seriously, but I didn't think it was like a viable option for me. I was more sports oriented. I was dedicated to just trying to make sports work. But the best decision I ever kind of made was deciding to go full force into music. So I was about 13, 14 when I got my first guitar. I'm about 26 now, so 12 years or so. Yeah, and I like to mess around. Like Tyler teaches me stuff on drums. I'll ask him different, variations or terminology and stuff like that. I like to sing and stuff too, for fun. I'm not Dylan or Jordan or anything, but
Hey,
You're better.
okay.
you're better than me.
Sure.
And then Tyler, same question for you, but of course when it comes to drums.
Well, I basically, when I was really, really little, I guess I want to say like 6 or 7, I got this little pool set. It's like a miniature pool table that my mom got me. I don't even know if she actually got me it, if I found it in the basement or wherever we were. But it came with 2 pool sticks, and I remember kicking the pool table away and keeping the two pool sticks in my hands and beating on everything forever after that. And that's what made me think like, okay, I definitely want to be rhythmic. I want to like play something that I can do this on. So I would, put together pots and pans and everything and annoy the hell out of my mom until she agreed to actually give me my first drum set when I was about, I want to say 13. I got my first actual drum set, and I played every single day. And everybody was like, "Oh, you're just gonna get tired of it and to move on to something else, a new hobby." But I actually never got tired of it, and I ended up joining concert band in middle school, and then doing drumline all throughout high school, a little bit of drumline in college. So I know how to read like sheet music and play like random stuff when it comes to like xylophones, marimbas, just any percussion instrument. Yeah, I just love it, and I never stopped doing it, and I want to keep doing it.
One thing I
He's
want
really
to
good.
that's really cool to me about our band is, so Tyler is bar none the greatest drummer I've physically seen play what he's able to do, which is sick. Dylan has the most incredible belting voice that I've ever heard in my life, especially up front. And Jordan is, I would not choose another person to write music with. At whatever, we literally could feed off each other and write a song in 10 minutes. We've done it multiple times.
Just like learned how to write.
He knows exactly where I want to go with something in a way that I couldn't even say it out loud, and he just did it, and it was in my brain.
The chemistry.
So that's one of the cool things for me about the band musically, because the talent around me, I just feel spoiled.
Yeah,
like, I don't even have to try because
Yeah.
the people around me are just incredible. So it's a super, super cool feeling.
We think really highly of each other, and we all have a really good time. And then when we take a step back and like listen to something that we write and produce, we're like, "Whoa, okay, we just did that."
Yeah,
sick. So
That's great. And I have not had I've not really taken the time to learn any instruments in my life. If there's one I would like to learn, it's piano, just because I find it super, really super unique and really, really beautiful instrument to listen to and play. One of my favorite groups, and I know I've told Scott this before, is Evanescence, and there's a lot of piano in a lot of their songs, and it's a really beautiful instrument. So that's something I would definitely like to learn someday. Speaking of other groups, I wanted to ask you guys. Do you guys cover any other artist songs when performing live? I have listened to obviously your guys' YouTube, and I know you guys have covered "Attention" by Charlie Puth, and you guys have done the acoustic version of that. But when live, have you guys covered any other songs? And if so, what are some of your favorites and why?
Yeah, we did. We covered "Faint" by Linkin Park at concerts in the park. I got to do the chorus and the breakdown for that live. That was surreal. That was awesome. Everybody went nuts.
Everybody knew that song.
Everyone knows that song.
Yeah.
And I got to scream to 10,000 people, and it was Dylan helped me out on some harmonies and stuff, and it was a lot of fun. I want to do that song or other like Linkin Park songs eventually, just for fun.
They're so fun.
Any others that you guys have gotten to cover live that you guys have enjoyed at all?
Not that we've gotten to cover. We have lots of ideas that we want to eventually do.
When we're rehearsing, we'll mess around. We'll do
Yeah.
like the used and stuff like that, and we'll just keep going. We'll just start a song and then just
We try to
hand
finish
off. We
it.
just play the entire thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Me and
we
Jill
try
wanna
to
do
finish it.
NSYNC.
Yeah, in sync.
Yeah.
Me and Jill want to do NSYNC so bad.
That'd be so
Oh yeah.
Well, I wanted to talk about some of your guys' current music. So Bad Nature came out in February and Not the One came out in March. I'd assume you guys were working on them at least sometime during the COVID times. Explain how difficult it was to produce or make music during COVID, and explain just kind of how that process worked for you guys.
Who wants to take this one?
Dill or Jordan, you guys want this?
I'll do it.
Yeah, go for it, Jordan.
So, yeah, I don't think recording them and stuff was that difficult during COVID because we were just going to our producer guy's house and he just lived down the street from us and stuff. And at the time, I was living in Sac before I had to go back to Texas and stuff. So I just go over there and we'll knock out some guitar tracks. And then whenever Scott and Ty got over there, then we'd go do the whole thing. It wasn't that difficult. COVID didn't complicate things that much for as far as recording goes.
Yeah, as far as recording, that's fine. We just obviously couldn't, we were practicing, safe distancing and things like that. And when it came to shows, there was no shows or anything like that. So the music part was fine, but, getting a hold of certain businesses and things like that were a little bit harder at the time. And then, but it was a blessing in disguise almost.
It was so unprecedented that there'd be a 2-month period where streams and everything were the worst they've been in years, and then all of a sudden this next month they're higher than they've been the previous years. It was so hard. We've had material written and recorded for a long time post Bad Habits that it was just a really bad sequence of timing and to know when to release something, to get together to record a music video. So we recorded the music video to Hopeless, the first single after Bad Habits, 3 or 2.5 years, or we recorded the song 3 years before it came out and recorded the video for it 2 years before it came out. It was just, it was always something that made it difficult to justify releasing it. And then with COVID, like I said, it was just, nobody really knew what was going on or what to expect.
Yeah, everything was pretty much up in the air.
Yeah.
But it seems like things are coming, for the most part, things are coming back down to earth at this point. So we're able to get more of a plan.
At the time, we had multiple shows planned. We were going to do Concert in the Park again. We were going to do another Ace show. And then...
No.
And then with releasing a song, too, we try to have the whole package ready, as in art and promos of us and the video done and the music done. So we don't say, hey, it's coming out this day, and then have nothing, to show if something gets delayed. So as things were getting kind of pushed around, it just became a jumbled mess for us. And it's led, and then other things come up and you're like, oh, it'd be better if we waited till then. And then here we are.
And I know that you guys actually played at Powerhouse Pub less than a week, I want to say, before everything shut down. You guys played there last March, literally right before COVID hit. I've seen recently on your guys' social media that you guys are still currently working on a new album and getting some more songs out. I know you guys update, stuff has been a little bit delayed. Do you guys have a rough idea or a rough estimate of when you guys plan on actually having stuff released or having some more stuff come out right now? Or is that kind of still up in the air because of, potential other issues and stuff?
It's kind of up in the air. It's not too far out. We just did, a small thing to make ourselves bigger. We kind of invested in ourselves, but it pushed us back another step. But once everything gets rolling again, things will be consistent. But as of right now, we have a lot of
material ready.
Yeah. As of right now, we're not far off. Things just got delayed because of, we're trying to do them properly rather than just rush because, hey, we can now.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any future plans regarding shows and touring anytime? Because I know that's kind of something that's coming back, and I assume that's not something that you guys are going to kind of probably start until the album actually comes out. But do you guys have any potential plans of when you guys are going to get back on and tour a little bit?
Not really any plans.
Nothing's set in stone.
We just have a lot of ideas and really ambitious ideas. What if this would happen? It'd be cool to get on this and this. But I guess we've been focused on this album and getting this pushed out in the best way possible. That's kind of consumed most of our time and most of our thoughts, I think. And any thoughts about shows or touring is just kind of a dream at this point. But maybe we're not far off from it. I just think once we get this album starting to roll out, shows and everything like that will kind of fall into place.
Yeah.
Totally.
We don't have anything. Yeah, we don't have anything planned. But like if Bring Me the Horizon said, "Hey, taking you on tour starting next week for 6 months,"
We'd make it happen.
We'd make it happen. We'd be going on tour.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so nothing like super planned. But we've definitely always bouncing ideas off each other. Our managers always keep an eye out. We have artists that we line up. They're like, "Hey, let's eventually sometime in the near future, we're going to plan a show with you or you," but it's just not in the books yet, if that makes sense.
Gotcha, for sure. Well, I want to switch gears here for a second and actually get into another question I have for you guys. And really, that's, oh, shoot, what is that? Oh, no, it's not a question. It's time for the fireball, everyone. All right, so any of you guys who have been tuning into the show recently, this segment on the show is where I quiz my guests basically on common knowledge on whatever subject matter it is that they are, fans of or a part of. So this week, and this is actually going to be very interesting since there's multiple guests, I've got a lot of different rock questions for you guys, and this is how it's going to work. So I'm going to go one person at a time. I'm basically going to start, and I'll say who the question's for. You have to answer it. If you get it right, you get a point. If not, it is what it is. Basically, if you guys get 8 questions right in 160 seconds, that's 2 minutes, 40 seconds, you guys get in the Fireball Hall of Fame. So far, Abby Feingold and Jack Solt are in. Let's see if you guys can get in as well. So basically, I'm going to go one person at a time. I've got 12 questions here, so you're each allowed to ask one question. So let's see if you guys can do it. All right, first off, before we get going, are you guys ready?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Give me 1 second here to get everything going. Okay, here we go. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Scott, how many of Linkin Park's 7 studio albums have gone platinum?
5.
6. Tyler, Dance Gavin Dance has had 4 different vocalists. Name 3 of them.
Johnny
Easy,
Craig,
come
Tillian. Shit.
No, that's good.
Who's the screamer?
Oh, dude, I don't even blanking.
We all know it by him, I think.
Yeah.
I'll let somebody else answer for you. Somebody else go ahead.
Jordan or Dylan.
John Mess.
Yes, good job. All right, I'll give you that one. Dylan, what year were Panic at the Disco formed?
2001.
2004.
Come on.
Jordan, what is the name of Bring Me the Horizon's debut album?
This is what the edge of your seat was made for.
Ooh.
It's Count Your Blessings was the name. Scott, while Jim Root is one of 2 guitarists for Slipknot, he used to be the lead guitarist for what other rock band?
I don't know. Is it Betraying the Martyrs? I don't know.
Stone Sour.
Oh my god! I overthought it. I knew that.
Tyler, what year did Austin Archie join Lorna Shore?
Oh, wow. 2009?
2012. Dylan, in 2018, Justin Timberlake received a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. However, it wasn't his name. It was as a part of which 90s boy band?
NSYNC.
Correct. Jordan, what popular movie series?
Jordan disconnected.
Oh, shoot. Okay. All right, I'll stop the clock. Okay. No problem. If he needs another invite, I can get him in here.
Yeah, he just texted us, so here, let's see.
Okay.
His internet cut out, so he's going to try and get back in.
He says internet cut out. That's horrible timing.
You're good.
Wow.
Things happen.
Were we winning?
What's up?
Were we winning?
We're not
You guys
winning.
still have a chance to win. I'll say that. You still have a chance to
At
win.
least we still have a chance.
Oh, man.
I cannot believe I didn't say Stone Sour. Oh my god. I was thinking like pre-Slipknot. I was like, was he in a band before Slipknot? It's after or middle of Slipknot. Stone Sour. I'm gonna get in trouble. I'm gonna get texts.
Yeah. We're sorry for the comments you're gonna get under this video.
No, you're fine. I'll tell you what. While we're waiting for Jordan to connect back in, I'll go ahead and ask you guys the other questions I have. I've stopped the clock. While we get Jordan back in, I'll go ahead and ask you guys, and then I'll pause the clock again, and I'll ask Jordan the remaining questions I have. All right, so we're going to go ahead and go back to – so, Scott, this is going to be yours. Ready? In 3, 2, 1. Which award show did Blink-182 announce their reunion in 2009?
Grammys.
Correct. Tyler, how many number 1 hits does Chevelle have in the Billboard Top 100? I'll allow you to get like 2 off.
7.
6. Okay, I'll give that to you. Good job. Dillon, Aaron Gillespie is best known as the vocalist for Under Oath, but he was the touring drummer for which American rock band from 2013 to 2016?
Paramore.
Correct. Okay, you guys still have a chance.
All right.
Guys,
Don't mess with that's one of my favorites.
Roll.
that was clutch. All right, so Jordan's got to get these 2 questions right here right. I've got 2 for him. If he gets them both right, he wins. He has to get them both right, though. And
I was going to say, I wish we had the blink questions.
Yeah.
Scott would have just answered all of them.
So he's got 45. When he gets back on and gets reconnected, he'll have 45 seconds to answer those 2 questions. Does he need another invite? If so, I can send him another invite.
He says he's restarting his router.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay. If
He says, "I know the answer."
He says he knows the answer.
Oh, okay.
It's so funny.
Oh man.
Wow.
I'm gonna be honest. Out of the 2 questions I have, I'd say one of them's a gimme. The other one, he should get both. I'm gonna say that right now. I think he should get
All right.
both.
We'll put the pressure on him. We'll say that the only way we're gonna win is if he gets these right. Carried him while he was gone. That's what we gotta tell him.
That was a nice little.
Well,
I mean,
while we're waiting,
did good.
for him to
Yeah.
get back in and reconnect. One thing I was going to ask you guys is, have you guys gotten to see any of those artists in person? What are some of the favorite shows that you guys have been to?
So, I was at one of the first shows after Blink said at the Grammys that they were going to reunite in Dallas at Jexa Stadium when I was in 9th grade with All American Rejects and My Chemical Romance, and it was amazing.
That sounds
It was
incredible.
one of the greatest days of my life.
All right,
That's awesome.
we got Jordan back in here, so I'm going to go ahead and restart the clock. Jordan, I'll explain to you the scenario. I have 2 more questions for you. I've already asked everybody else their questions. You have 40.
We got them right.
You
We
have
got them right. By the
both
way.
right. If you get both,
have to get both
you guys
right.
win. If you
We
get
got the
one
last
wrong,
like
you guys
25
win.
questions right in a row while you were gone.
All right, so I
They
got
were
2
hard,
questions
too.
left for you. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1, go. Which popular movie series that stars Johnny Depp has Keith Richards also been a part of? I'll give you a hint. It's a Disney one.
Jordan, Grokett.
Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yes, he got it. All right. Last
Okay,
question.
I thought you were asking what movie series has Keith Richards been a part of. I'm like, what?
Well, he's been a
no.
part of it with Johnny Depp. But anyways, last
Okay.
question. While Tom Morello is best known as the guitar player for Rage Against the Machine, which 2000s rock band was he
Better know this one.
Which was he with along with Chris Cornell?
Audio Slave.
Yes, he got it.
Let's go.
Fair. Good job. You guys got 8 out of 12. Awesome.
right.
All right, so you guys are in the Hall of Fame too. Congratulations. Rock
Wow.
You guys managed to get like 6 questions right in a row to win it, so good job.
Thank goodness.
I'll go ahead
Right.
and I wanted to ask, since Jordan's here, I'll ask him the same question. I know Scott just answered, but what are because in relation to some of these artists and bands that you guys are fans of, what show have you guys gotten to see any shows of them in person? Like, what are some shows you guys have actually gotten to go watch with some of these potential artists?
Well, I saw Bring Me the Horizon a couple of years ago when they came through Dallas. That's the only time I've ever seen them live. They're like my favorite band ever. It was just so sick. They just played in this place called Southside
I've seen them.
Ballroom. Like 3,000 people fit in there, and it was packed and hot and sweaty. It was sick.
That's awesome. My favorite band is the Red Hot Chili Peppers. I've gotten to see them once in 2006. I've actually never seen Evanescence live, but I'm going to try to go to their show in San Jose later this year in November. So I'm going to want to try to go see that. Another band I'm a huge fan of is Breaking Benjamin. I've gotten to see them, I think, either 2 or 3 times. I saw them.
I want to see Breaking Benjamin.
And then I saw
Yeah, that would be
them-
a cool show.
Yeah, it was a really cool show. And then I got to see them again in what was it, Shoreline with Five Finger Death Punch. So that was pretty
Nice.
cool.
That's a
Yeah.
big show.
Yeah, it was. Well, the thing that sucked about that show is Five Finger. I think I was either an issue with their equipment on the plane or something that came super late. They actually only played a half a set, which kind of sucked because all their stuff came late. But crap happens, and it was on a great half set. Yeah. So, well, anyways, congratulations! You guys are in the Hall of Fame as well. Great job. I have a few more questions for you guys before we get things wrapped up here and going. And One of them is in relation to you, Jordan, because I know you live in Texas, and you kind of answered this a little bit earlier, but I wanted to go a little bit more in depth. I know you lived in Texas almost your whole life. How difficult has it been for you to travel and kind of get to shows, making music in general with everyone else being 1,000+ miles away? How do you kind of manage to make that work out in your schedule?
Well, I don't know. We just need to plan ahead pretty much. It's like I need like 3 weeks notice if we have anything we need to do, like music videos, show, or whatever. So I just need a few weeks notice and drive out there, fly out there, depending on how much stuff I have to bring. It's not that hard aside from, spending money for a hotel room or a flight.
You can crash on our couch.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I sleep on their couch, dude. Hang out with the dog.
Gotcha. So it kind of works out for you. You just obviously have to plan and kind of know stuff in advance.
Right.
Yeah. What are some hobbies, or I'll go ahead and start with, we'll go ahead and start with Tyler and Scott, and then I'll kind of go down. What are some hobbies or things that you guys like to do outside of making music when you have free time?
I like to play Toontown. I play Toontown all the time with my girlfriend, and we play Toontown a lot. I also collect Garbage Pail Kids cards and a bunch of nostalgic stuff and a bunch of Toontown cards. I'm super nostalgic. So I like to remind myself that I'm a 9-year-old in my head. So I still am in touch with my nostalgic side, but that's mainly my biggest hobbies for sure.
For me, sports. I've been playing basketball every day for the last couple months at this point.
Yeah.
Get back into that. Like I said before, music, I was super only focused on sports, so basketball, baseball, all that kind of stuff. So I've just been getting back into doing stuff like that. I produce music for other artists. I've been doing lyric video work and design work and stuff like that for different artists as well. It's a lot of fun. I've been getting into that. And I'll play some video games with Tyler every once in a while. So that's
Did you play any sports competitively in high school for any of your teams or anything? Or?
Yeah, I was.
All of them.
Yeah, I was actually going to be playing baseball in college, and I tore my shoulder week before playoff senior year. I still try to play through it. I went to several college scout tournaments like UCLA, Arkansas, stuff like that throughout that summer. Just couldn't hack it. Lost 8 miles an hour on my fastball, just from my shoulder injury, and I gave it up.
I was going to say, I hope you've been playing basketball inside instead of outside these last couple weeks. How hot it's been. Oh, you've been outside?
I've been outside, 110-degree weather.
Yep.
How are you doing that?
He comes home just soaking wet.
And I just lay down with a fan point on my face for an hour, and I finally get the willpower to get up and take a cold shower.
Dude, I play for fun maybe 3 times a week in Lincoln, and I played outside in 100-degree heat, and that was dead. And then I realized that we actually have an indoor place now at the club in Lincoln, and it's so much better. I cannot imagine playing basketball outside in 110-degree heat. I play a lot of disc golf, and I've gone out and I play out in the mornings before it gets hot, and even then sometimes it's hot. I cannot imagine playing 110-degree heat, and that's not natural.
And that's after I'll be at Topgolf for 8 hours outside in 110-degree weather. Get home. Put on my basketball shoes. I go out. It feels like I'm out there for 5 hours. Well, I'm really only there for 45 minutes because I can't. My body physically can't handle it.
Yeah.
But
would you rather play sports in heat like that or 45, 50-degree cool? What would you
45, 50-degree easy. Yeah, no question about it. I do not enjoy being. Oh no, and Tyler and I also skate a lot. That's
no.
We do skate.
But not right now because way too hot.
Dylan, what about you? What hobbies or things do you like to do outside of making music?
Build race cars, work on people's cars, stuff like that. Big automotive stuff. Video games, play games with the buds when we do. Me and Jordan played some Call of Duty the other day, not that long ago. It's pretty fun.
We can do that again.
Yeah, we do. But yeah, mostly my time consists of working on other people's cars or working on my own car in this heat, which is pretty ridiculous. I'm stubborn. When I want it to work, I just work through the day. But yeah, lots of video games, lots of car stuff. I do go to drift events and stuff like that. Drifting, I like drag racing. I like it all.
I know that we have a speedway that has drag races in Roseville, and I don't know of any other really speedways around here. Do you go to any of those to kind of like
Stack
watch
race
races and stuff? Yeah.
Stack Raceway is one of them. There's a place called Thunder Hill in Willows. There's been a few times we went up to Oregon, which is like 4 or 5 hours away, 6 hours away, give or take. And there's some places up there that are pretty cool. And then Southern California, Sonoma as well. That's in the Bay Area. There's a good amount of racetracks around here.
Do you watch like a lot of NASCAR on TV and stuff? Or
Not super big into NASCAR. My dad is. I like on TV. Most of the stuff I watch, which is not really on all the time, is Formula D. I like watching that. And then a lot of YouTube stuff. There's a lot of YouTube like drag racing type stuff that I really like to watch, like the no prep drag racing. So they don't prepare the surface. They just kind of have to go out there and figure it out. It's pretty fun. I like watching people build cars. I'll sit there and watch that for a long time. It's pretty fun.
For video games, Xbox or PlayStation?
I like both. Right now I have an Xbox, but PC, I would say my list is probably PC, then Nintendo, then Xbox and PlayStation are kind of like tied.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, for me, the best, and I know it's a system that's old, but best system, in my opinion, I've ever played on Nintendo 64. I love it.
Yeah, that's up there. That's one of my favorites.
It's awesome.
I got one of those for Christmas, and that's the best.
Oh, that's sick, dude. That's awesome. Yeah, I have like one of my favorite games of all time is like Donkey Kong 64.
We were just talking about that the other day.
Oh, yeah?
It's so cool. Yeah, it's such a cool game.
Some of the best games of all time are on the 64. Ocarina of Time, Conker's Bad Fur Day, Mario
Scott
Party.
has a big connection with the N64 as well.
Yeah, I used to collect and all that kind of stuff. At one point, I had every single N64 game that had ever come out, all of the rare ones and everything. I had to sell them because I was poor. But one day, I'll get back.
When I was like 13, I remember my dad, he played the Nintendo 64 a lot, and we were playing Donkey Kong 64. And this was, actually, I don't know if you were here during that time, but it was the time where there was a big like tanker fire in Lincoln, so we had to stay home for like 2 weeks. And in Donkey Kong 64, one of the things is you have to beat like the arcade game 3 times in a row. And I made $100 off of actually being able to do that. So that's like the most money video game.
Nice.
Jordan, what about you? What are some hobbies or things you like to do outside of making music?
So I play a lot of video games. I'm obsessed with football. Video games, football. I spent all day, like the past 2 days, playing Warzone. Yeah, dude, I just waste all my time. Some days I just spend days watching football film and be like, hey, this wide receiver does well on this route and not that route, and grading and all that kind of stuff. And I don't know, just sports, video games, music. That's everything I do pretty much.
You said you live around the Dallas area. Are you a Cowboy fan?
Oh yeah, dude. Oh,
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Have you gotten to go to the stadium and watch any games there?
Yeah, I've been to one game there, and then when I was like little, I went to one of the games at the old stadium, and that was cool too. Yeah, but the stadium's crazy.
Yeah, I bet, because it can hold like 100,000 people or something crazy.
It's
like
insane.
Yeah,
it's huge.
That's crazy. Yeah, I am. We're not gonna like each other for this one, but I'm a Niner fan, so
it's better than being an Eagles fan.
Okay, fair enough in that sense. I've been to the Levi Stadium, the new stadium. I've been to Candlestick for when I was super young for a baseball game, but I didn't actually get to go there for a football game. But from everything I've seen, it's a much better atmosphere than Levi. Levi is like this, cookie cutter new stadium kind of vibe, and Candlestick has some life to it. Plus it's in Santa Clara, which is like a way more different climate than being right on the coast and the ocean and stuff. But But yeah, it would be really interesting to go to a game at the Dallas Stadium. One of my aunts actually lives in Texas, and she's been to a couple games there too. So, it should be a good season ahead too. So I'm looking forward to that.
Football's always been big for Jordan and I. When we lived close together, every Monday, Thursday, Sunday, we were watching every single game.
Football day, yeah.
It's football day. We would be in LA recording. It'd be Sunday. We'd be like, hey, we're watching.
We can't record today. Sorry.
I'm a huge fantasy guy, so I play a fantasy like every year, and I'll probably be in about.
Jordan and I are always in like 3 or 4 different leagues.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm definitely going to play in the league this year and see how it goes. I've been playing. I'm 3 out of the last 4 years. I finished in the bottom half of a league, but before that, I won both my leagues. So I don't know how it's going to go this year. It's a giant question mark. Before I let you guys go, is there anything else you guys would like to add related to the band or music or anything in general with your guys' band?
Stay tuned. I know that we've said that a lot during this process in the past, few years, but there's some really cool stuff coming up, and we're excited, and we appreciate everyone for the endless support. We appreciate you, Aaron, for giving us this time to talk to us tonight. This has been super cool. We haven't done one of these before, so this is super awesome to do. But
we're finally in a position where we have all of our material ready. Not all of it, but like a good amount of stuff that we've been waiting to share, a lot of songs that are special to each one of us that hopefully nothing happens, but the delays for the most part should be over.
Yeah. And
for the near future.
Yeah. I know we have a really cool new song coming out. We really like the video. It was very fun to make the video for the next song coming out. So stay tuned for that. And yeah, this has been awesome.
Hell yeah, brother.
I guess if I had one final question, I just thought of before I go. What's your guys' favorite song that you have made to listen to, and just what's your favorite song that you guys have made in general?
My favorite isn't out yet, so I don't know if I can say it.
Oh, okay.
Same.
Yeah, we definitely do have some favorites that aren't out yet.
From the ones that are out, I'd say Enough.
Yeah. That's what I was going to say, too. Enough is...
Bad Nature is also really sick.
I think Enough, sculpted my journey through the band. I think of Enough... I refer back to Enough for a lot of things. So Enough is super fun for me, and that's definitely one of my favorites that are out right now. And then second would be Bad Nature, because that's just fun as hell. We love Bad Nature.
Jordan, I realized Bad Nature was super sick the first time we got to play it live.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's when I was like, that's just it's the energy of that song. Great.
Jordan and Dylan, what about you guys?
Probably the same. I really like Enough. That one's near and dear. It's one of the first ones I wrote for this band. And live, Bad Nature is really fun live. But Bad Habits is also really fun live.
Bad Habits.
Everyone the crowd interaction. I mean, the first time
all the lyrics.
Yeah, the first time we played it after it had been out for a while and everybody sang along, it was like surreal.
Surreal. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's funny. I was going to keep mine kind of closed up until you guys said yours. It's funny because mine's actually Enough too.
Nice.
That's my favorite as well. I'd say honestly though, most unique, I would actually probably say Not the One, because that's one of the only songs you guys have that I really get some EDM vibes off of, which I find really interesting in parts of the song, and in some parts of the song for you guys. And I used to be I had a phase of a year I was an EDM fan, so I was like, damn, I haven't heard something like this, at least in certain parts of the song, until for a year and a half. So I found that really unique. But for me, it's probably Enough too, which is interesting. I didn't actually expect that. That's cool.
Nice.
Well, shoot, that's pretty much all I have for you guys. I just want to say thank you so much for you guys being on. This has been great to be able to talk a lot about your guys' success and talk about your guys' bands and plans you guys have going forward and all. And I wish you guys the best. And yeah, definitely keep me updated, and I'll send some stuff out when you guys are plan on touring again, when you guys have your album out. And I really appreciate you guys being on. This has been a great conversation, and definitely down to do some fantasy football and other stuff as well. So I will see you, Scott, I know, soon. As for everybody else, thank you guys for being on. I really appreciate it.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Aaron.
buddy.
Good night, Aaron.
Of course.
Peace out.
And then for anybody who has been watching, I want to thank you guys for tuning in as well. This has been a really fun show to do. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We will have another show next week. I will keep you posted on the social medias of exactly when that will be. Until then, though, take care. Peace out.
See you.